Hi everyone, I'm Mavis, and this is my reading program design proposal. And here are my contents: is the needs assessment, learning goals, literature review, overview, pre-test, process, practice, and post-test. And here is the introduction. It's about the needs assessment. Because I read an article in 2005, Lisa Moss mentioned that many young readers are puzzled by the rules and exceptions of spelling. Research shows that learning to spell and learning to read rely on much of the same underlying knowledge. Learn more about the relationships between letters and sounds and how a proper understanding of spelling mechanics can lead to improved reading. So therefore, in my opinion, for my rural primary school students, spelling is a very important and essential tool for them when they read the new text. And here is the introduction about my target students. Okay, they are very cute, and some of them are slow L2 learners of my rural primary school students. They are in grade 5, and sometimes they are struggling with spelling and word recognition. So here are my students. And next one is about their learning goals. I hope that I can help them to enhance their vocabulary and word recognition and help them to increase their overall spelling accuracy and build their vocabulary and spelling confidence, and also expand their vocabulary by understanding word origins, for example, like root words, suffix, prefix, word patterns, and help them to apply their vocabulary knowledge of word patterns in reading. So I said a topic for them is that the word and spelling detective. So here is the literature review. Is that the first one is analyze student spelling errors. So this one is a useful assessment technique because this one can reveal a lot about students or child reading abilities and also give instructions for them when they have the struggling with spelling in specific area. And also it is very important that independent children's errors may depending on specific spelling word. So it is very important to them to practice more activities and help them to hold the word in memory. So repeated routines are highly supportive. So in my opinion, that interesting or interactive activities is very important for them, and they can become word pattern detectives and develop knowledge of spelling. And next one is that I read in the reading rockets that we can provide students some word study activities with opportunities to investigate and understand the patterns in words, and also help them to build the word knowledge in both reading and spelling and improve their reading abilities in phonics, word recognition, and vocabulary. And also, students can sort the words and compare and contrast the different features of the words or harmful words which can fit the pattern being studied, or construct a word wall, a word vocabulary, a word study notebook, something like that, and also play some games to apply their word knowledge. And furthermore, a cycle of instruction for word study might include sorting words, encourage students to discover the pattern in their reading and writing, and use some reinforced activities to help students to relate their patterns to previous required word knowledge and test their pattern knowledge. So we can also help them to develop some spelling strategies for students. So the next one is about develop the students' spelling activities, and I separate in the literature review we can separate it into 11 parts. The first one is about word pronunciation. For example, like the Professor Regine mentioned the word night, and the second one is syllable separation. So we can separate the night as the single syllable word, the night. And the third one is the sound analysis. For example, that we emphasize the sound. For example, like I, sound analysis. And the fourth one is the sound identification. For example, like the first word night is N, and IGHI, and the last sound is T. Or the sound counting is that they need to sound there are 3 syllables. It, 3 syllables. Or the blank creation is like create the blank spaces for them to count the numbers sound in the word. So for night this word, you have 3 blanks. Or the record the spelling. For example, like the first sound is N in the first blank, then they have to write down another 2 sound with the letters to present night. And the next one is about the silent letter notation. And this one is, for example, like if we encounter a word like lamb, L-A-M-B, lamb, so there is a B, silent B over there. And also maybe in the spelling strategy is about the spell study. For example, like inquire about the pronunciation of the letter combination IGH. IGHI is a kind of spelling study, and then we can let students to write down the correct spelling NIGHT, night. And the last one is about the meaning connection, is that reinforce the understanding of the word's meaning. For example, like ask night means, we can get students to associate it with the concept of darkness when it is dark outside. And the next literature review is we can develop separate into 3 parts. The first one is about to know the basics. For example, like students can develop a deep understanding of English, like suffix, family words, a prefix, word origins from other languages. And also we can let students to develop their spelling patterns, both in their sounds, phonemes, and their meaningful parts, morphemes. And also phoneme awareness training is also a very important tool for them to develop, because this one, if they have the different phoneme awareness, then that may vary their proficiency level. So for example, like in English, there are many letters and sounds are adopted from other languages. So we can take a look like this one. English is some English words are originated from Norman French, Greek spelling, or Spanish, French, Italian, and Yiddish. So later on you can check on your own. And now let's go to my reading program proposal. Here is my overview. Because this module I want to design to help students in my rural primary school students to improve their word recognition and spelling skills. So it will concentrate on word pattern analysis and help them to practice spelling strategies and build their spelling confidence. So I'll give them some interesting lessons and topics which are related to their textbook, because I want to lessen their pressure when they learn the new text. And also I'll give them some engaging activities and some selected picture books. And also I want them to make their word hunting dictionary like this one in this picture over here. For example, like if they learn a new word like cube, then they have to do a word building routines, like they have to find a picture about cube and tap it, cube, and draw it, and also write the cube down in their notes or in their dictionary. So later on they need to make their own personal dictionary on their own, because this dictionary can help them a lot. And then after the overview is my pretest. So I'll use Google Form and to collect 10 questions. And here are my examples. For example, like what's a prefix, and give me an example. Or spell the following words: happiness, mistake, garden, how to spell them. Or identify the suffix word in careful, wooden, kindly. So I think these are the important discussion points for my students in the pretest, so I'll give them some single choice question and open-ended questions. And here is my process. Before I give them the text or I teach them the lessons, I want them to have the pre-reading text and let them to try, means that they need to read it aloud. And the second, they need to listen to the audiobook or the picture book or the video. And then I'll want them to analyze the word patterns on their own. And later on, I'll tell them how to analyze the word patterns, help them to understand it. And after the patterns, then I'll move to the third part, is the practicing activities or games. So I'll give them some activities, for example, like fill in the blanks or draw graphic organizers, for example, write down a vocabulary word map. So they have to write the word's definition or draw a picture or find the synonyms of the word, which can let them to expand their vocabulary map. And also, I hope them to record the word voice in one of an online platform that is Learn Mode. And this one that they can upload their voice over there. And there is an AI technical tool to help them to recognize their pronunciation. And the fourth part, after all the practicing activities or games, then they need to practice their spelling strategy. So later on, I'll develop this one, and then I'll give them examples and help them to make a rhyming sentence. And here is the spelling strategy. The first one is like break it down, because if they see a longer text, a longer word or a longer chunk of the word, then I want them to use the syllables to help them to break it down. And the next one is called it as mnemonics. Mnemonics means that creating the memory aids, which then can help them to take a look about the word and also to memorize it. And the third one is the phonemics. It means that sound out the word. Okay, for example, like mistake. Okay, they have to sound out the word. And so they can also make the connection between the mnemonics, because mnemonics can help them to create a memory aid to help them to use like acronyms or phrases, and then they can sound out the word. And later on, we can use the visualize. Visualize means that students can search a picture or to draw a picture, and this is a kind of image to help them to memorize in their brain. And also they have to write the word down to reinforce their memory, their spelling. And also they need to learn the word families. It's like the root words, base words, prefix, suffix, something like that. And if they find that if they can't guess the word through the word families or through the base words, root words, suffix, prefix, then maybe they can use a bilingual dictionary, which can help them to check the correct definition and check the correct spelling for them. And they need to collect some their unfamiliar words in their own personal dictionary. So I developed the 6 lessons, and these books that I find it in our school's library. It means that students can not only check it on the internet, but also they can borrow these books from our library. So lesson 1 is about take away the A. This is an alphabet book. It means that if you take away just one letter without the A, so the beast, B-E-A-S-T, beast will be the best. For example, like without the W, the witch, W-I-T-C-H, witch, has an itch, something like that. And this one can also help students to recognize the word families. And the lesson 2 is about big cat. So students has to have a chant. It's like, what can big cat do? What can big cat do? Big cat can blah blah blah. So they need to think about some action verbs. And the lesson 3 is about 10 little hot dogs. So it's about the verb plus ing. Means that students need to develop about the present tense and the ing verb ing. For example, like 2 little hot dogs is sitting on a chair, something like that. And lesson 4 is whose mouse are you? This is about the family names. They need to learn family names and also the prepositions of locations like from, inside, in, out of, something like that. And lesson 5 is way down deep in the deep blue sea. So they can not only learn the words of sea animals, but also the chants, like the way down deep in the deep blue sea. So it's a rhyme word. I spy a seahorse racing by me. Me is also another rhyme word, something like that. And then lesson 6 is Dear Zoo. So students can learn land animals and also the adjectives to describe those animals. And also they can also use a repetitive sentence to help them to describe their feelings about the animals or describe the animals outlooking, something like that. Okay, so next, after these lessons, we're going to develop a practice after these lessons. So in each lesson, students will use the lesson activities on Quizlet. Quizlet is another online platform which can help students to spell the word and sound the word out loud. And the second part is about the rhyme sentence, which means that after they learn each lesson, I want students to write down one rhyming sentence in Google form, and I'll give them the example first. Then later on, they need to collect more rhyme words from the book they read or from their own personal dictionary or the bilingual dictionary. Or if they want to explore more, then they can search on wordhippo.com, which can help them to find more rhyming words and the definition of it. Because why I want them to do the rhyming sentence is because that after they finish all the online lessons, I want them to make their own rhyme picture books and to record their picture book and put it on an online platform, the Learn Mode, and to share with their classmates. And so every student, they can share others audiobooks. They can listen to others audiobooks or picture books and learn it together. And I think it is very interesting for them or for teachers. And after the practice is a post-test. So I also use the Google form to collect 10 questions. And I think so it's about the single choice questions and open-ended questions. And I think some questions is about the discussion points, like these examples. For example, like how have your spelling skills improved after studying word patterns? Or spell the following words: history, dining room, like. Or what have you learned about word patterns and spelling from the module? Something like that. Okay, so this is the end of my reading program proposal. And thank you for listening. And see you next week. Bye bye.